All right, nerds, welcome back to DM DIY. Today what we're going to be doing is door trim. You've seen us doing the baseboards or the floor trim in the last video. I was kind of showing you how I was going to do it too. That one still has to be trimmed, right? But no big deal right now. Let me show you the state of this door. This is sticking out incredibly. This one over here is kind of flush right here, but then as you go down, you know, it's sticking out a gigantic amount. We have nails all in it. We're gonna have to take all the nails out, unscrew this, push it flush up against the wall, and then we're also going to have to, you know, push this in further as well and then lower it so it's not so just crooked and wonky. I did some drywall repairs on the outside. Let me show you the inside of the closet as well so you can see what that looks like. It becomes even easier now to sort of see the issue with this door jamb. It's just in kind of jacked up shape. I mean, the house was moving so much that, you know, this has become a problem. Not only that, but I mean, you know, this got, I guess, punched in. It wasn't me, but there's, you know, pellet gun holes and all kinds of stuff. We need to replace the door, obviously, but this is going to serve as a good opportunity. I mean, if I break the door, I break it, you know. We'll put beads like the, you know, those hippie stores you see, you know, where you got to kind of spread them and then walk in and out. I don't know if that's what we're going to do, but worst case, no big deal. Let's see if we can make this look better and make it pretty. So lucky for us, the screws were just directly screwed into the, you know, screwed into the jamb. I got one screw holding it in now, and you can see how much that has already fixed everything. Let's see here. It doesn't look like it's even just because this needs to be screwed in all the way. I only have one screw in there, but look, now we're flat. So we're gonna screw it in all the way and then we'll go to the top and try to fix that. Luckily, I did not have to worry about taking this off because it was already broke. So I'll put a new one in later, but unscrewed the screws that were underneath it, I guess, and then just drop it down kind of where it should be, right about there. And then the door trim is going to cover all this. This is going to be tight. We're going to put shims in it and then screw it back in. That way it won't want to wiggle or anything else. And then that's it. All right, so I found two scrap pieces of wood. Okay, so you can see that one right there. And then this one and that other little one right there. That's pretty good. So we'll screw that in and then we'll fix all this junk later on this side. Nobody can see it because it's in the closet, so we're gonna let that, you know, be dealt with at another date. Should mention as well, almost had a little oopsie there. So you're not actually measuring from the floor, you're measuring from the bottom of this baseboard. That way, when you come down, you're not actually touching the floor because you still have to shove carpet under there. Almost screwed that up. Okay, so I had got my pieces cut. Something I didn't really think about. So in the prior video, you know, when I went and cut this and was kind of showing, look, all you do is just put your trim up and you can see the difference in the stain from where the trim was compared to, you know, where the door had gotten stained. I didn't even think about that, but, you know, you have your, you got your hinges. That's inhibiting the trim from being able to go directly against. So, you know, essentially, not only, this cut wasn't straight anyway, it was more for a one-handed instructional. I'm gonna have to recut that, which is good, right? That way I can do it, you know, properly. But when I'm measuring this, I'm not actually measuring, I'm almost gonna have to put both, the right side and the left side on, just nail them in where they need to go, and then measure out the top piece of trim and hope everything's still 45, you know, degree angles. Because I just cut all these, the left one's sitting over there, but I just cut them all, and then I'm starting to going, ew, maybe, hold on, something's not right here. We have room to work with too down here, especially if carpet's gonna be right up against the bottom of the, you know, door trim. So let me go ahead and nail these in, and then we'll get a measurement and see how kind of far off I was. Okay, so I had thought that I had measured everything properly, but, you know, now that I'm looking at it, something is just amiss. I don't know what happened, but okay, let me just put this up here and see if that at least lines up. See, that doesn't even line up. There was something going on here with the measurements. Dude, that looks funky. So what I'm thinking of doing, this, even if I lowered this, which I guess I could do, but it just still, this isn't gonna work. You know, there's always the inevitability of cutting these flat, making them just both, you know, 90-degree angle cuts, and then just putting, you know, one of those little header boards that people do. That'd be the easiest solution, but I'm still gonna make this work. Something is just amiss over here, dude. Something ain't right. Okay, so I just remeasured this from the interior, like I was saying, you know, interior angles and everything. That matches perfect. Problem is, this looks like crap. So, that's probably why it was shifted up prior. I really don't know. But that's like how it's supposed to be. We need to drop this down. I'm thinking if we can just get it to the very edge of this corner, then over here it'll at least fill in, and actually it'll probably be right where it was at earlier, or at least close enough to it. And we can always kind of put a little bit steeper of a, I don't know. Okay, so all I did was simply, I cut this smaller, right? No big deal there. Just measured from the interior corners, cut it smaller, because that was wrong. Then got this one with my hand, did the good old hand clamp, and just kind of matched it of kind of where I wanted it, and then traced it. Now I'm going to get very carefully with my my oscillating tool. I'm going to very carefully just cut those. Please, please, please. Pretty dang good, I'd say. That's not shabby at all. Now I'm gonna go ahead and nail that up and forget about that. Forget that ever happened, because that sucked. And then we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so we're on to door number 2, and I realized what I was doing wrong. Obviously, we have the hinges. They are not allowing the trim to go all the way flat, you know, against this door jamb. So I'm actually taking measurements from right here, and that's going all the way up to right here on this corner. This is the corner, the inside dimension corner that I'm taking measurements from, and I'm not adding anything to the measurements, but rather measuring the inside, measuring the inner side of the trim, and then just cutting it outward. So all the dimensions are going to be being cut outward towards the thicker part of the trim, and that's going to solve everything. So we're going to see if that works. I'm going to remeasure all this. They shouldn't be too far off, and then we'll kind of see where we're at. Okay, so I got my stuff cut. I'm thinking this one's going to be the right one. You know, I went ahead and put the trim on top of the baseboards here, marked here and here. I'm going to cut those. We're going to fit them in and see how it looks. And keep in mind, what we did wrong, we were measuring and then adding, or rather measuring from the outside, and what I found out what was going on. Inside edge, all the way up, and then 45 degree coming out. So the 45 degree is going to be longer. Okay, so got the bottoms cut, you know, just like you've seen before. And then up top, not looking all that bad. This one's not, you know, it's still loose. I just nailed in the top, or I nailed in the bottom just for a second. But you can see that, that's looking pretty darn good. So we're gonna go ahead and nail in the sides, probably right about there on the top, and then kind of smack the rest down, and then I'll give you an exploded view. All right, dudes, so that doesn't look too bad. The doors are jacked, but, you know, we definitely did our best on them. It's not perfect by any means. We're a ½ inch up. Corners look pretty good. And then over here as well, this one turned out, I wouldn't say as good as the first one, because I did a lot of TLC on that one. This one I actually just measured them properly, and then Brad nailed them in, you know? That's pretty much it. Started with the left side, cut that piece of baseboard off, and that makes it easy if you suck at your cuts the first time. If you keep them long, you can just trim them. It makes it so much easier. Just get a dang oscillating tool and easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then, you know, set that one first. Put your top piece of trim up, see how it fits. Maybe even just nail it in once, and then see where you're at on this one. And you can see kind of, that's where all the discrepancy is in this corner. And that's pretty dang good. It's not perfect, but you can see it was just a little bit off. Maybe I could have went a little more kind of at an angle with this. Another thing to watch out for that I didn't really think about as well, if this is a little too high and it's rubbing up against this, anytime you open the door, it'll squeak. So I don't think I had really anywhere where that was occurring, but it is something to watch out for. If your trim is touching this, it's gonna be rubbing every time the door opens and it will squeak. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. We did it, you know, no big deal. About 20 something more doors to go in the house, but figured I'd make a little video. Don't let it scare you. It's easy, no big deal.